I've officially clicked record, and now I say, yo, what up? How's it going?
It's going good.
Rodan. Giant monster of the sky. Hit me with a pitch.
I saw what Air had with him, and it was a lot of draw and a lot of speed and a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I have a problem with trying to get my block zones to the right zones. I feel like I'm very low on low blocks and stupid high on high blocks. That I want to get that number down. Potentially wrangle the card number down from 71 to somewhere closer to 65
Okay.
in that area, but no less.
Okay.
And then potential better defensive pieces that I missed. I feel like I've got my actions and assets where I need them. A quick look at the attack lineup. I don't know if I've solidified what cards would work the best in Rodan.
Sure. So we're looking for cuts? Are we looking for like more suggestions? Like what's the goal here?
I'm looking for cuts, and then if something, in your view, doesn't cut it as well as something else, just to bring that to light.
Okay. Man, I really like Frog Strike in this deck. It's very cool. So the first thing that I'm noticing is there's not a theme on keywords, right? There's no like, it's not a Fury deck or a Charge deck or a whatever, right? It's just like, it's a hodgepodge, which I think is kind of cool. It's just like, it's like air good stuff, the deck, right?
Yeah.
But with that said, like, is floating drop really the best attack that we have?
No, it's just another powerful outage with a high speed.
Okay. I mean, we have powerful outs though, right? Like we've got Armor of the Wolf, we've got Walk the Dog, we've got Nedrio Wave as a momentum out as well, right? And then there might be some momentum stuff on our symbols? Question mark. Dragon's Fortitude. Is there momentum out? Like this as
I think it's also
fine.
a low block. That's why I didn't want to drop it as well.
For floating
drop.
Yeah, let's go see what we have. Air, low block, attack, go. No 2 checks, I'm assuming.
Yeah, preferably not.
You've got double for Tornado Fist in the sideboard, which I think is a really cool one. I mean, this card's just good by itself, right? Depends on what your budget looks like.
I have 4, so I can just rotate it over for my overhaul list.
Yeah, I think a 2/2 or just two of them, right? Just the easy replacement of this into that is just like so simple.
Yeah.
Could also be this. I love Airstream Driver in this deck. I think Airstream Driver is sick. This card gets big, and it's also a way cooler momentum out of like, hey, discard momentum, seal that rival asset. But you do have like Frog Strike to do like a very similar thing. This seals a foundation. This feels an asset or foundation, which like could be really useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah. I think I mean there's the price tag just tells you this is just the better card. And I don't think the difference between the 0 low and the whatever is going to help. And it's also like you get to like turn this into a throw whenever you get to the late game and be like, hey, this is the thing. And you do accidentally have like 1, 2, 3. You have 3 other potential like high block targets. And so like
Yeah.
the walk to Fallen Skies isn't always just gonna be a 4 high for 6. But even if it is, 4 high for 6 throw is like not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the other attacks. How do you feel about acrobatic leap kick?
I don't know. I have it in there. It was to replace something else I took out, and I don't remember. It just wasn't performing. Put that in because it has stun 1, and if it deals damage, they commit. Forces them to try and block that one instead of my other high damage moves.
Sure. Just taking a peek. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just a 4 damage do nothing move though, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing that I'm nervous about is like this card just like, oh no, it dealt damage. I guess I'll just commit one of their cards, right? But at the same time, like
Yeah.
stun is not very prevalent inside of the meta. We've got Frog Strike is stun 1, Nedro Wave is stun 3, Acrobatic Leap Kick is stun 1, Chimera as stun 1. You combine that with the other cool things that Rodan has available, like it's possible that we don't necessarily need to, 4 damage is not that big of a deal, but it's also 3 more damage on Walk the Dog. It's also 3 more damage on Armor the Wolf, right? So like, it's possible that this is here. This is supposed to be here at least. Yeah, I think. I mean, if our goal here is to get this number down to 66, we probably do need to cut 1 card though, and so I think the answer is either Nezure Wave or I actually think it's actually just Nezure Wave. I think Nezure Wave needs to be cut down by 1. And 22 attacks is still a lot for a deck like this. But it does, because we're playing a lot of little attacks, I think it is okay to feel this way. Now, what are the foundations? So I think one of the main reasons to play Nezure under the air symbol is Rescue Specialist. I think this card is correct in this character. It's a 1/4, yes, but it's a 4 mid block, which is perfect for your character, and it is just free speed on top of your already free speed. This card just by itself just says all your moves are unblockable. They're just crazy unblockable. The thing that I am a little, when I look at my low blocks, I think your low blocks are a little wonky and all over the place. Sell me on Crimson Sparrow.
It was an idea of more speed hate, discard a higher block mod if, for say, I didn't check a high block mod on my discard. I'll just discard it for +1 speed and give it more speed off of Rodan, or discard for -2 speed and then minus more off Rodan.
I think,
and if I saw it, I saw it. If I didn't, I didn't.
I think Haggler is just the better card in every sense of the word. Because I don't think that them gaining 2 health is going to be that big of a deal. You also, it's a bonus draw, which your deck doesn't have a ton of, right? Like on attacks, right? You have Walk the Dog, you've got Electric Moth, and that's it. Nothing else draws. So like, there's no like real cantrippy stuff.
Yeah.
So I think Haggler is just a better card over Crimson Sparrow. I think this is a bit of a trap. Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to cut the Sparrow. I think that card's got big coaster energy for me. Shabujin's Message, because we upped the specialists, I think we should take this down to a 1 of. It is a unique card. As a 1 of, we never want to be a 6-hander pretty much ever, and blocking with that card is nigh impossible.
Is bad.
Right?
Yeah.
Even with a minus speed that we have, like if we have a self-doubt hit the discard pile, this thing still has a 2 mid block, and that sucks. Speaking of self-doubt, sell me on it.
A low block that if
I'm gonna go look at low blocks.
one move is blocked, I get easier check.
Let me go look at these here low blocks. Ready for a Rematch is a great card in our deck. I'm gonna put this in the sideboard. Boop, boop. Quick Response is a good low block to put in our deck. It is a deadlock threat that says that we get to kill them. Hell, Fighting for Breakfast is good in our deck. Actions are crazy right now. I think part of the reason I would be playing these 3 symbols is that I get to play Stopping for Breakfast as a card. Yeah, I think the best ideas here are probably just ready for a rematch. After it's committed during the enhanced step, this move gets 1 speed or -1 speed, and most importantly, it's a 6 check. And so like stacking 6s, a 1/6 is just like good enough value to like want to be used. So when I look at my block zones, like having things like Training Agencies drop down to the 1 of Self-Doubt will get rid of it altogether and just toss in 3 ready for a rematch. Yeah. And there is an idea, and I just want to put it in your head. I don't think there's a lot of moving parts that we get to do here, but this card is very good for your Rodan deck because Rodan doesn't put any damage on things. So this says that you get to do it, and under the air symbol, you get access. I'll put this in the board just to keep it on your brain.
Okay.
Air Foundation. Go. I just don't remember the name of it. Defiant Stance. This card's free. So we use training weights. We commit Defiant Stance. It just to re-ready weights, Defiant Stance re-readies. And so now you've got +3 damage across the turn of +1, then +2. And then if you want to, you can just commit the Defiant Stance again to give the next thing so I'll +2 and ready +3. And so this is +6 damage off of this one Defiant Stance. And so Defiant Stance now commits for 6 damage across 3 attacks. You combining that with the Rodan's idea of like +X speed, it says that these acrobatic leap kicks, imagine this as your first move. It's not a 4 damage move, it's a 5 damage move. And then your frog strike, I don't actually have to discard the card with the +3 damage because I have training weights to give it +2, so now it's for 6. Right?
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah. And so like, and you know, this is a 2 mid, this is a 3 high, but like doing this means that when I look back at my block mods, I've got to make some changes here. Things like personal reload would have to change, or clasp membership isn't a 4 of, or something along the like this card needs to exist somewhere in the deck. And Defiant Stance combined with Ready for a Rematch in conjunction with here is like Training Weights wants to be like a 3 of. Does that mean that you have to cut you have to cut the cape or something along those lines? Again, I think that this is not the correct idea, but if you feel like you are losing out on a damage pump, I think Training Weights Rodan is a very cool place to be.
I'm down to keep it in sideboard and just maybe try it out or rotate something out for it at one time.
Hit me with a personal reload. What's this guy got going on?
Another way to discard draw.
Okay. We did put in a second Haggler. I would be okay if we wanted to like pump up the Haggler up to a 3 of, cut a different low block like a Return of the Kings, and then just cut the reloads altogether just to lower our deck count.
I'm down with that.
This has made our low blocks a little bit easier. We're at 69 cards, which is just the perfect number, truly. We could get away with 3 latent skill. I don't think we necessarily need 4, not with the amount of attacks that we're playing. Yeah. This is fine. This is fine. Maybe, there's an idea where like clasp is supposed to be a 3 of as well, just to cut down on this number. I really like Rescue Specialist. So we're at 67 now, which I think is a perfectly healthy number. If you want to get to that magical 66, to have 22 attacks in 66, I think 1 Rescue Specialist leaving is okay. But this is probably where I would be. This is probably where I would be looking.
All right.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
I like it. Do you think I should be rotating out Armor of the Wolf for more Chimera Krakens, or rotating out Krakens for more Armor of the Wolves?
So Kraken is the best attack in the game, and Wolf is your kill condition, which is a thing that your deck doesn't have, right? Like it doesn't all move to one position, right? You're playing 5 kill cards in your deck currently, and it is Armor of the Wolf and Walk the Dog. Falling Skies is not a kill condition in your deck because you're not everything gives the +X, right?
Yeah.
And so like having without the things like training weights to turn everything into a potential, turning Defiant Stance into +6 damage across 3 attacks. We have to have cards like Armor and Walk the Dog in order to be that kill condition, because like Nedry Wave isn't going to be it, right? There is an idea where like even this is supposed to like, let's get crazy with it, right? We put Nedry Wave to a 1 of because it's cool, but the top enhanced isn't feasible. They're not blocking more than twice. So this is a +2 damage move, and then we do Falling Skies at the 4 of, and so now if we like triple Falling Skies somebody, that's a kill condition. Like we've got a way to like, they're all unblockable. They all get big. Like Falling Skies in Rodan is messed up. The idea of high charge Rodan is like crazy. It's crazy. And so, like you having multiple kill conditions is a thing that this deck just needs. And like Frog Strike helps, right? It's a 7, normally like a 7 for 7. But you have to discard a card to do that, right? So you become a 7-hander to make a 7 for 7 happen. The other decks in the game are not having to become a 21 health 7 for 7. A 21 health 6-hand size character for 7 for 7. They're just doing it by themselves. So, but with that said, flip 1 foundation, seal a card is like crazy. Deadlock ready 3 foundations, crazy.
All right.
Final thoughts?
I'm excited to test this out.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you for the support on Patreon. I do greatly appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time, okay?
All right.
See you, buddy.